Well, Morgan, before we look ahead to a huge fight on Saturday, September the 30th, I've got to say, that punch, Brian Turner, what a way to finish a fight in your last fight to secure this title shot. So before we look ahead, let's look back. Talk us through that incredible performance.
Yeah, I'm still buzzing with it now, mate. Obviously, it was a tough fight. He's strong as they come, Brian. It was just one of them ones, worked him down, keep getting him behind them straight shots, and he just come onto the right hand. And hopefully on the 30th, we can land that one again.
Yeah, I was going to say from ringside, Brian came out fast, he came out strong, he was throwing his shots, maybe a little bit too eager to land those shots, and he sort of seemed to, like I say, empty the gas tank. But when you connected with that shot, I was ringside, and I'll be honest, I didn't see the shot. It was one of those shots, even when you watch the replay back, and you see the shot land, even in slow motion, you can miss it. He's sort of triggering for that shot, isn't he? And then you catch him with that right hand, and it was game over. Probably, like I say, it's going to be one of those ones, contender for knockout of the season. So, great performance, sets you up lovely. As I say, you're even going further back, your debut at the K2 Arena in Crawley, where you're fighting for the title. Yeah. A really hard, tough fight against Finn Mitchell. So let's start with the aftermath from that fight. What have you been up to since the big win against Turner?
Just trying to stay busy, mate. Obviously, had a few months off now. I think it's been about 4 or 5 months since we've been in the ring. Back in the gym now, working hard. Looking forward to getting back in there and doing it all again.
I know that the division that you're in, Light Cruiserweight, it's buzzing. There's so many big names out there, so many big fights. You're obviously challenging Richard McKeever for the vacant regional title, but light heavyweight just below there, there's a plethora of huge names and huge fights out there. So
there's loads.
It's probably, I would say, there's over the years there's been different divisions that have had like a wealth of talent, but at the moment, light heavyweight and light cruiserweight, the world's your oyster. There's so many big fights.
It's packed, especially with the Quest. It's so good. You've got so many good fighters in there, all strong, all know what they're about, and there's, like you say, there's endless amount of fights you can make. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this title on the 30th and then seeing what's next.
You've definitely, although it's only been 2 fights in your Quest career, you've definitely established yourself as one of those fighters that people want to come and see. As I say, the fight against Mitchell was a barnstormer. Tough 3rd round for you.
Yeah, took a few big shots.
And the performance against Brian Turner last time out with that stoppage victory sets this fight up nicely. Yeah. So, for yourself, how's the preparation, but also mindset-wise? Does it feel coming into, definitely the biggest fight of your Quest career, how does it feel sort of coming in knowing that at the end of this training camp, you're fighting for your first title?
It's massive, mate. I mean, obviously before I was with the Quest as well, I was in the amateurs, and it's the first time for me fighting for a title, which just gives you every bit more just to get in there and get the job done. I'm focused, I'm switched on, and I know what I've got to do on the 30th, and I'm looking forward to it.
Takes on I always say, boxing's a bit of a strange sport that you can be in the gym, but if you're not training for something, if you haven't got a fight date, if you haven't got something to work towards, it's hard, really hard to stay motivated and put in the effort required. But you get a fight date, you've got something to aim towards, but you get a fight date and a title shot, and it just flips the switch and sharpens all the senses. You know what you're working towards. You know why you're putting in that work for that run. You know why you're doing that sparring. You know why you're doing that extra sprint. Yeah. So I'm really, as I say, looking forward to this. And, Richard McKeever, very similar in terms of amount of experience. He's an exciting fighter. He's coming into the competition for the first time, but comes with, like I say, a good pedigree. So sure. What do you know about McKeever? Obviously, there's not a lot of footage out there. There's bits and pieces, but what are your sort of your initial thoughts?
Like you say, I've not seen a lot of him. What I have seen of him, he looks good. He's similar to me. He's a counter puncher. You can see he's looking for that backward step and a big shot. I'm looking forward to the fight. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm more than confident I'm going to get in there and do a number on him for sure.
I mean, when you structure and when you look ahead to sort of training, has it taken on, like you said, you're fighting for a title, so there is that extra sort of motivation there, but How's training camp been? Because we're just over a month to go now. But
Yeah, 5 weeks out.
How's prep gone?
Yeah, going well, mate. Weight's coming off nicely now. I'm feeling good, feeling sharp, sparring, getting good rounds of sparring in as well. And yeah, everything's going well, mate. Looking forward to it.
I know that in camp you've got a great team behind you, bursting onto the scene. But when you look ahead to a fight like this and you're planning your training, have you changed anything up from your previous fight camps? Have you looked at this and gone, we're going to have to go that extra yard, that extra mile?
Well, obviously, is it 4 rounds?
So yeah, 4-2s.
So yeah, it's 4-2. So just more running and more sprints, mate, and just getting that fitness even better. I mean, I felt I could have easily done an extra round in that last fight. I felt fit enough then. So it's just working on them same things we done last time and just adding to it.
And I mean, I think for your fans, for Richard fans, and really, like I said off camera, for the league's fans, there's going to be a lot of interest in this fight because, like I said, we've seen the flashes of brilliance from yourself. We've seen the knockout. We've seen the hard fights. So we know when you have to go into the trenches, you've come out on top, but you've also got that knockout power. And I know McKeever's team are really super excited for this fight. So that's what Quest is all about, isn't it? I mean, people talk about Quest and the 50-50s, the sort of the big fights. I mean, in K2 last time out, I've got to say, what an incredible fight Max Chart and Josh O'Brien put on that lit the arena up. I mean, that was hairs on your back of your neck.
Incredible fight, that, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And I know that for you and for Richard, this has got all the sort of ingredients to be another incredible fight.
100%. We've got a few boys from down south as well, boxing that same card. Good mate of mine, Jack Hands, is going to be on it. So we're going to bring everybody from south up there, and we're going to fill the place up. It's going to be a night to remember for sure.
Definitely. And I know, like I say, not long to go, but final thoughts and final sort of final things you want to say at your head of fight night.
I'm just focused on what I'm doing now, mate. I'm not fussed about what he's doing. I know if I'm switched on and I turn up, I'll win.
You'll be lifting the title.
Without a doubt. There's no doubt in my mind.
No, well, like I say, it is a fascinating fight, really, for whether you're a Quest fan, a Morgan Keen fan, a Richard McKeever fan, you know that the ticket money just for this fight alone will definitely be worth the admission fee. So it all takes place on Saturday, September the 30th at the K2 Arena in Crawley in West Sussex. It is for the regional light cruiserweight title, and the man in front of camera, Morgan Keen, takes on Richard McKeever for the vacant title.